Okay.
Friends from far and near. In our
Hello,
hearts,
everyone.
you're always here. Worlds of wonder, bright and true. Celebrate the me and you.
Good morning and welcome to the ITE Scholars Evolving Together webinar. As directed on the previous slide, we want all cameras turned off as well as being muted. This is a recorded event. Thank you for being here.
Welcome, sisters, to our 2026 International Teacher Education Webinar, ITE Scholars Evolving Together. I am your International President, Conway Blankenship, and like thousands of our members, I am a strong supporter of our International Teacher Education, or ITE program. It is a reciprocal program. We support young women educators from around the world who desire to learn more about educational practices in the United States. These scholars share much about education in their countries, as well as share much of their culture with us. The International Teacher Education Scholarship is funded by our Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation. $10,000 scholarships are awarded to 7 outstanding international students to study for a master's degree, to learn about the philosophy of education, methods, and materials of instruction in the United States, and to share their experiences with us and others around the world. ITE encompasses all aspects of Alpha Delta Kappa and its mission statement of empowering women educators to advance educational excellence, altruism, and world understanding. This biennium's logo and theme, Evolving Together, encourages us to listen and to learn from one another as we reflect on our history and our purposes. It encourages us to reflect on today's world and continue evolving as an organization to make a difference for ourselves and for others. The ITE board chose today's webinar theme, ITE Evolving Together, to represent all of us as we move forward. I'm now pleased to introduce you to Barb Eason, International Teacher Education Board Chair.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Conway, for that great introduction to this afternoon's program. I am Barb Eason, the chair of the International Teacher Education Board. What an honor and a pleasure it is to be on the ITE board. I get to work with wonderful board members, Mary Jo Heller and Ann Quinlan, and it allows me to get to know these outstanding scholars and learn from them about other countries. The ITE program is a little like Conway's logo. It's a circle that's growing and evolving. We have 7 scholars and 14 kind Alpha Delta Kappa members who are their sponsors. As the sponsors get their chapters involved, the circle grows. The state and regional presidents are great supporters of the ITE program. They reach out to chapters throughout the state and region, and the circle evolves even more. Today, the scholars are presenting an engaging program that invites you to learn more about them and to be part of the circle of ITE supporters. We hope you will enjoy it. ITE has been a part of Alpha Delta Kappa since 1961. It has brought over 250 scholars from over 75 countries to study in our country. This year alone, our ITE scholars come from Bangladesh, the country of Georgia, El Salvador, Thailand, South Africa, and Cambodia. I would now like to introduce Mary Jo Heller, who is in her third year on the ITE board.
Thank you, Barb. It's so wonderful to see so many here to share our outstanding scholars, even for a short time. There are so many ways to evolve. My years in Alpha Delta Kappa have been evolving with my understanding of altruism, leadership, world understanding, educational excellence. The last 3 years, I have evolved as a member of the ITE board with all its enrichment, creating circles within circles, ever evolving. I'm sure so many of you can relate with experiences you have had with Alpha Delta Kappa. And now I'd like to introduce Ann Quinlan, our newest board member.
Thank you for joining us today to learn more about the International Teacher Education Scholarship Program. Your support of the Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation makes these scholarships possible. Financial support for our scholars and their sponsors is possible because of our members' dedication to the ITE program. Today, we are celebrating excellence in education, world understanding, altruism, and inclusion through the experiences of our current ITE scholars.
We couldn't do this webinar without the technical support and guidance of Phyllis Robinette. She is a part of headquarters staff and an Alpha Delta Kappa member from Colorado.
Hi, everyone. So glad to be here. So glad that so many of you turned out. I have shared this many times. It is one of my favorite duties is to support this webinar. I hope you enjoy learning and being as inspired as I am from the scholars.
Each year, Alpha Delta Kappa helps support 7 scholars from different countries. They study for their masters in U.S. universities. Just as they are learning, we are learning from them. This year's webinar is a combination of slides and panel discussion.
Today, you will hear briefly from each of our 7 ITE scholars. Each will tell you a little bit about her background and culture, as well as the educational journey that she is pursuing here as she evolves with her educational vision, ambitions, and personal cultural outlook. And now let's meet the 7 extraordinary women who are eager to meet you.
Let's begin by introducing you to our second-year ITE scholars, Shanila and Mary. You met them during our last ITE webinar, and many of you have invited them to share their experiences and hopes at your chapter meetings and Founders Days. Hopefully, you also met them at our 2025 International Convention in Austin, Texas.
Hello, dear sisters. I am Mary Kadagidze, a second-year IT scholar from the Republic of Georgia, which we also call Sakartvelo. I'm studying at the University of Washington in Seattle and pursuing a master's degree in education, leadership, and policy. I'm happy to be your guest again and excited to share my experience with you. I want to start by expressing my gratitude to my sponsors, Sue Downing and Kathy Fleming, and their wonderful families. My sponsor chapter, Bet Ayoda, and Glad Lauren, who have been supporting me, especially in tough times, and have given me the strength I needed the most. Washington State Alpha Delta Kappa board members and presidents, International Board, my fellow scholars, and every single sister in the United States. It was an immense pleasure to spend time with you at our fantastic event in Austin, and I hope to meet in person again soon. I'm from Georgia, an independent and beautiful country that shares its name with the wonderful state of Georgia. Georgia is located at the eastern end of the Black Sea. It's bounded on the north and northeast by Russia, on the east and southeast by Azerbaijan, and on the south by Armenia and Turkey. You're looking at images of Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia. It's one of the oldest capitals in the Eastern Europe and has long served as a cultural, political, and economic hub along the historic Silk Road. Old Tbilisi is especially known for its colorful 17th century sulfur baths, The area also reflects the city's cosmopolitan character, with Georgian Orthodox, Armenian, and Catholic churches, as well as mosques and synagogues lining in its cobblestone streets. Lastly, while our year is packed with coursework and preparation for graduation, I enjoy life in the United States by exploring the beautiful state of Washington and beyond, traveling and crossing off bucket list items, and adding more, of course. Thank you for having me today, being part of my experience, and believing that we are all evolving together. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Shehnila Naz, and yes, in case you are wondering, this slide confirms that I have exactly two moods, the elegant Bangladeshi girl in a sari and the adventurous hat-wearing traveler always ready to pose. I'm so happy to be here today and share a little bit of my journey with all of you. I am originally from Dhaka, Bangladesh, a city full of color, noise, tea stalls, rickshaws, and more traffic than you can possibly imagine. If you have ever complained about waiting at a stoplight, trust me, you have not really waited until you have waited in Dhaka. I am currently a graduate student at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, studying how we can make digital learning more human, more joyful, and less, I have no idea what button I just pressed. And here is a little peek into my life at U of I. So it basically involves studying in beautiful green spaces, reading books in every possible corners of the library, pretending I have my life together while drinking iced coffee in winter, and of course, buying far too many Illinois sweatshirts. Honestly, I think I now own enough orange and blue dresses to enough and orange blue sweatshirts to dress the entire marching band. One of the best things about this, last year has been traveling across the United States, from the ice castles in the New Hampshire to the Golden Gate Bridge to the Hollywood sign to the Statue of Liberty. I have been collecting experiences like their Pokemon cards. And along the way, I have learned something very important. No matter where I go, someone will always ask me, so where exactly is Bangladesh? At this point, I have perfected a TED Talk lengthy explanation with hand gestures, maps, historical facts if necessary. This slide is really special to me. These are some of the incredible people I have met through Alpha Delta Kappa, including my amazing Can Do It All sponsor, Ms. Valerie Johnson, who has been there for me in every moment. And of course, Mary Jo, whom I cannot thank enough for my unforgettable trip to Seattle and for her truly unmatched card craftsmanship. You can also see Barb, Judy, and all my fellow ITE scholars at this year's international convention. I have felt so supported, appreciated, and genuinely cared for in this community. And honestly, amidst all the recent uncertainties in life, Alpha Delta Kappa has been one steady place of comfort, the space where I feel held, supported, and at home. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for inviting us into your world and for letting us grow in ways we could not have imagined. I'm grateful, I'm humbled, and I'm excited for everything that's ahead. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Mary and Shanila, for those insights into your world. This year, we also welcomed 5 more scholars into the United States. Hengli, Tembisile, Emma, Tansupa, Ornu, and Nandimiso. They also will briefly explain about their country, culture, and their educational ambitions.
So, hello everyone. My name is Hagley T, and I'm glad to join you today as an ITE scholar from Cambodia. I'm currently studying at University of Nebraska-Lincoln in Nebraska. The photo behind me show one of my favorite moments on campus, holding my Cambodian flag, and feeling proud to represent my country so far away from home. So currently, I'm pursuing a Master of Art in Teaching, Learning, and Teacher Education with a specialization in innovative learning technology My focus is on how like technology tools and AI can help support teaching and improve classroom practices. My goal is to enhance education quality embedded with technology in Cambodia, where I previously worked as an English lecturer at the Royal University of Phnom Penh. You may questions about my country. So where Cambodia? Cambodia is a Southeast Asian nation with a long and rich history of more than 2,000 years, and we are best known for Angkor Wat Temple, the world's largest religious monument. Cambodia is also known for our warm hospitality, colorful festivals, and delicious Cambodian cuisine. Our population is about 17 millions, and our capital city is Phnom Penh. Today, I'm very proud to share a part of my culture with all of you. Last but not least, I want to express my deep gratitude to the Alpha Delta Kappa sisters, and especially to my four sponsors, Linda, Colin, and April. Your kindness has made my transition to Nebraska so much easier. Thank you so much for warm clothes, scarf, welcome gift cards, and gift, as well as the cards and encouragement letters that you all sending from different Alpha Delta Kappa chapters in Nebraska, as well as other states in the US. Your support means so much to me, and it has made me feel truly welcome and cared for. So I'm so grateful to be part of IT program and for the opportunity to grow as an educator through this amazing community. Thank you so much.
Good day, everyone. I am Tembisile Buthelezi, and I'm glad that today I'll be sharing about myself, where I come from, and the journey of my education till this far. So I am 27 years old, and I come from South Africa. And back home, I come from a small rural town, which is called Melmoth. And Melmoth is surrounded by farmlands, including sugarcane, avocado, orange farms, as well as gum tree forests. I come from a very large family. I have about six siblings, and I'm the seventh one, and I am the middle child. And growing up with my family and in that environment has shaped so much of who I am today, instilling responsibility and resilience. So about South Africa is located at the tip of at the southern tip of Africa and is known for its cultural diversity. In South Africa, we have about 11 official languages, and the country is known for its natural beauty, including wildlife and landmarks such as Table Mountains. We also have a lot of safaris, and the most known one is Kruger National Park. So a bit about my education. I did not start this journey as an educator, but I started as a Bachelor of Science undergraduate student, and I majored in genetics and microbiology. I also followed this journey of education by doing a 1 year certificate in education, of which after that I fell in love with education and decided to pursue more, which is research. So I also did my honors in science education, and just last year I finished my master's in science education as well. Until this year or last year, August, that I'm registered now here at the University of Delaware, where I'm pursuing my master's in educational technology. So the reason I'm doing educational technology is for mostly back home, because where I come from, it's a small rural town, meaning we lack resources such as education or accessing quality education. So I'm hoping that during this journey while I'm here, I'll be able to do my research and come up with solutions in terms of how we can enhance the teaching of science education back home. My study here focuses on artificial intelligence, while my study at home focused on science education. So this combined helps me to come up with solutions on how we can use technology and specifically artificial intelligence to enhance the teaching of sciences in my community. I would like to pass my acknowledgement so much to Alpha Delta Kappa team, and I appreciate so much my sponsors, which is Mrs. Fraticelli, Mrs. Bledsoe, and Mrs. Glasney. They've been very much helpful. Looking back at when I had to arrive here, of course, I didn't know anyone. I did not know. I didn't have any arrangements in place for accommodation, but they had planned all that for me and also supporting me with settling, getting the stuff that I needed, like the basic needs, everything that I needed, the gift cards, the lunches and everything, and also everyone that has been sending me gift card and wishing me happy holidays for December. I appreciate it so much. I also appreciate the financial support that I get from the ADK team as a team. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emma Alfaro. I'm pursuing my Master of Science in International Educational Development at the University of Pennsylvania. My bachelor degree is in economy and business. But after finishing my college, I started working in finance in El Salvador. But after a year, I realized I was truly passionate about social projects. So that led me to work in international cooperation. And 4 years ago, I had the opportunity to work in an education project with the Inter-American Development Bank in El Salvador. So that experience made me realize that my love for education was huge, and that's the work I want to do for the rest of my life. So I began seeking opportunities abroad to study more about it. That's how I applied for a Fulbright scholarship and got accepted to the University of Pennsylvania. As I mentioned, I'm from a small country called El Salvador. El Salvador is in Central America. We have about 6 million people living there and around 2 million Salvadorians living here in the US. We are famous for our beautiful beaches and our pupusas that are our most famous dish. I'm sharing, as you can see, some lovely pictures of my country here, including my dog as a model, if you can see it. This is my first time leaving my country to live abroad, and that can be challenging, but all your support has been really helpful to make this transition smoother. So I'm really grateful for the wonderful community of Alpha Delta Kappa, and especially for my amazing sponsors, Laura and Alessandra, who have done this experience incredibly rewarding. I've never felt alone here, especially from the moment they picked me up at the airport with welcome signs I have here in my wall as a reminder that I'm not alone. And also, I want to thank the Alpha Delta community, especially the Philly charter, but also other sisters around the country. I also want to share this picture here that it says, it's a beautiful box that I received one day. It says a box of hugs. And let me tell you, it really feels that way when I receive all your letters or your gift. So that box now keeps all the cards or the letters that you send me is on that box as a reminder that I have a lot of people here that is caring about me. So I want to thank you again and say that all the things that your community does for international students here. It is maybe the most essential part of this scholarship, and it really makes a difference for international students that are here alone, but we are not feeling like that because of you. So thank you so much.
Hello everyone. My name is Sang Suphapin Rat. In Thailand, we usually go by the nickname, so you can call me New. I am currently studying at University of Washington in Seattle, majoring in learning science and human development. And I'm very excited to be here and learn in this new academic and cultural environment. A little bit of my background. I have a bachelor degree in English and a master degree in management. I have been working mostly in nonprofit, and I have done several educational initiatives and women empowerment to support the immigrant communities in Thailand for several years. Recently, I have just entered into the research field, hoping to drive more change in the policy level. So, as you know, I'm from Thailand. Thailand has 77 provinces and 6 regions. I grew up in the north of Thailand in a province called Phra, but I have lived in Chiang Mai for more than 15 years. So, I'm going to talk about Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is a mountainous city with mountains surrounding the city. And one famous place is Doi Suthep, a sacred temple on top of mountain. And many people like to visit there to pray and enjoy the view of the city. For the local food, I would recommend khao soi. It's a northern Thai noodle dish with curry soup and crispy noodle on top, with rich coconut and curly flavor. So Thailand had many holidays. One famous festival is Loi Krathong, which is traditional way to show gratitude to water goddess. In this festival, people like to float candles and release lantern up into the sky, as you can see on the picture. And Chiang Mai is very famous for this tradition. And last, the symbol of Chiang Mai province is the elephant, and you will surprise that many districts there are named after elephant. So before I end, I would like to say thank you. I am very truly grateful to be part of ITE Scholar community, and I would like to also thank all the Alpha Delta Kappa ladies, especially Anna and Eileen, my sponsors, who have been supported me since I landed in Seattle. Thank you for your kindness, encouragement, and for every letter and messages that remind me that I'm not alone. Thank you.
Sawubona. That's hello in isiZulu, my home language. I'm Nondumiso. I'm from South Africa, like Tembisile, my fellow ITE scholar, which has 12 official languages and 3 capital cities. I grew up in a small village near the St. Lucia estuary, though I later moved to Johannesburg. Back home, we have hippos that walk in the streets. So, coming to the snowiest city in America, Syracuse, has been quite the shift. We have 9 provinces. Like states, every province has its own character, its own beauty, and its own story to tell. The photos that are on the screen show how passionate I am about South African tourism. Despite all of this beauty, millions of young South Africans cannot find meaningful work. This beautiful country deserves a future where every young person has the opportunity to thrive. I started with a natural science degree and moved through business school. I then worked in corporate on a digital learning project with over 60,000 learners across Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. I also led a non-profit organization called Girl Leader. And now I'm here, pursuing a Master of Science in Instructional Design, Development, and Evaluation. If you pay close attention, that's me presenting in class with new technologies and learning approaches that we have not been exposed to in universities back home. That's Amy and Laura, my sponsors, and a picture of my wall in my room. It's actually right above me on my right. Every single one of these cards came from Alpha Delta Kappa sisters across the United States. A special thank you to all the sisters who sent me a birthday card last week. I really appreciate it. As you can see, they arrive exactly when I need them. Where I come from, we call this Ubuntu, which means I am because we are. Ngiyabonga. Thank you, Alpha Delta Kappa.
Thank you, Henley, Tembi, Emma, Nu, and Nomandiso, for sharing your evolving world. As we expressed at the beginning of the webinar, our choice this year is in the form of a panel discussion. In the panel, there will be 2 or 3 scholars and a moderator. Each scholar will answer questions about their time here, their education, culture, and perceptions of Alpha Delta Kappa. We hope you will gain an understanding of our scholars through their own words, increasing your knowledge of their culture and appreciating where they hope to make a difference. Our first scholars are Henley, Mary, and Timby. Our moderator is Anne.
I was home about a photo of the little ones. Bracelet for my husband. Lucky Rabbit's foot. Lucky Rabbit named Sweet.
Hey, here we all are finally. Good to see you, ladies. We're going to start with a question that some of you have already referred to a little bit in your comments, but one of the things that we were interested to know is how do you think that technology is affecting education, either in your country or what you've experienced so far here? So who would like to start?
I will start. Well, you can already see the enthusiasm of talking about technology use in education from us. That's an amazing question, and I think one of the most discussed question in our class discussions. And before I came to United States, I did the micro degree program in Estonia, which is considered one of the hub of the technology use in education. And one kind of common theme I figured between these two countries and my experience is how technology makes education accessible and affordable, not only for the students, but also for the teachers, and how it reduces and how it should be reducing the workload for teachers to give them time and capacity to pay attention to other things which are becoming more and more interesting and important for students. So when I'm thinking about education, these are the things which I always have in mind: accessibility and affordability and more time and capacity for more meaningful connections.
Thank you, Mary.
To add on what Mary already said, I think I'll talk more on accessibility in terms of learners. So where I come from, for example, we do not have science labs and we do not have materials that can allow learners to be able to practice what they learn in theory. So if we have AI, which is part of technology, we will be able to access these videos, or even museums or virtual laboratories where learners will be able to engage with content or be able to see all these processes that they are supposed to see in real life, but they're not able to do it. So I think in terms of access and in terms of learners, I think technology is doing much more, and it is very much what is needed at this point.
Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you, Mary and Timothy. Yeah, technology is very kind of positive in the way that we can help student and teacher in learning. Not only it's affordable, it's accessible, but it can create like a life learning experience for the student. In addition to that, I would say thank to the technologies that we can be like an international student because back in my home country, lack of human resources, especially the teacher in the countryside, is an important issue. And the teacher who know English, who actually speak English, is kind of rare in the countryside areas. So technologies help a lot. This is where I work in my previous organizations to launch the content, the English content for the student in the primary school, for the kid in the rural area to learn English through tablet. So it's quite like fascinating and see how the technology can help link the student around the world to study English. Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much, ladies. We're going to change gears a little bit for our second question, and it's a little bit longer. If you had not had the experience of being a Fulbright scholar and an ITE student, what would education or what would continuing education look like in your home country, and what would you be doing this year?
Okay, I'll go first. For me, most likely, this year I'll be starting my PhD back home, as it is the start of an academic year right now in January. Last year, I was able to complete my master's, which was in science education, and the plan was that the following year I'm starting with my PhD in science education. And my topic would be looking into the AI powered visual laboratories. So that's my interest. And in terms of learners being unable to access the practical content. So I'm looking into, we already have videos, YouTube videos, or other technology where learners are able to view these things. But I'm looking into how is AI making it even more accessible or more easier. So that would be what I'll be doing this year. And hopefully I'll still be able to pursue that but once I'm done here.
Very good.
That is pretty interesting about obviously, yes, technology, AI. I think if I were not selected to be like a Fulbright scholar or IT scholar, what I would be doing here right now in my country was still teaching the student English language, as well as I probably would work in my previous organizations that work with the rural area school to help students study English. But yes, I think I would like maybe adding more contents for students to learn English, mainly the grammar, reading, and vocabulary from, yeah, I think from my home to there.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a great question, and I'm laughing because I believe no one is surprised to hear these answers because we are type of people, everyone in this like online space who just cannot stop learning or teaching both. So no matter where we are doing that. And like Tim Tbilisi, I was thinking to continue my doctoral program, and I was like developing my course to teach in Georgia, and I love what. My fellow scholar said in the presentation, Nandumiso, and the statement was, "I am because we are," and this is something what always kind of moves me, and this is what I really believe in. So I would be absolutely engaged also in the social activities and educational activities, which I was doing before to advocate and to support for the people who don't always can do the same things for themselves or needs a little bit more encouragement to do so. And of course, I would be probably engaged again in continuing working on my books of history because we all need to learning more and writing more about history of our countries and of course education.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for starting our panels off so well. And we're going to go now to our second panel. Our next scholars will be Emma and Shanila, and they will have Mary Jo as their moderator. Thank you.
We'll all be here. Welcome, Shanila.
Hello.
Hi, welcome, Emma. Welcome to the second panel. Our first was wonderful. We expect you to be just as wonderful. And I would like to know, and everyone here would like to know, what the most important thing that you want people to know about your educational system in your country.
That's really interesting. I can go first. Actually, I was thinking about with the last panel because they were talking about AI. And we are in El Salvador in a moment, in a political moment, where our government is implementing in an official way AI. Actually, it's like, I think it's a growth AI to use it as helping for tutoring kids and schools. So we are like actually in the process to see how that's going to work. Our educational system has a lot of flaws, but also have a lot of changes in the last couple of years because they are like more focusing on early childhood education, and that's really good. They are trying to change things, and now we are going to start like doing this kind of AI supporter education. So maybe I don't know, in a couple of years I can share with you how is everything going because we are really excited about it, but also like thinking how are we going to manage everything because it's new, especially for teachers. But yeah, that's an interesting thing that you can know about my country right now.
That's exciting. And this is face-to-face with an AI, or this is distance learning?
No, it's
Or,
face to face.
okay.
Yeah. The idea is teachers are going to use AI for students, and the students are going to use Grok chat or I don't know other tools from Grok to use it as a tutor for learning.
This is every discipline or just some, or we don't know yet.
We don't know yet, but they are like figuring this out. But it's official. It's already official.
Great. And you could do distance with us and show us how that works.
Yeah, of course.
Next year. Shanila, what?
Wow. Wow, definitely that's a very interesting point, Emma, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more about it. So when I think about my country's education, I know that a lot of the research and a lot of the focus goes into how under-resourced my country is when it comes to spreading and developing educational sector. But one thing that I have noticed, one thing that I really want to focus on is how dedicated and resilient we are when it comes to spreading education. And I could actually explain this with one example that during monsoon, one part of our country is always flooded for months, and it's, I mean, no amount of support or whatever cannot actually change it. So that area is always facing the worst during the monsoon season, and they have a boat for school when they go from places to places, picking up kids in the boat and still continuing to teach in the middle of such adversity. So that is something that I find really inspiring, that we can do so much with so little resource, and our contribution to spreading education, continuing to teach, continuing to learn, that is definitely something that I think worth mentioning.
No kidding. So classes then, how many are on a boat?
So it's a village, so there aren't a lot of students, I would say. So if I could show you the picture, it's really interesting. So it's a two-layer boat. So there are top layer and the bottom layer. So I think you can have maybe maximum of 10 to 15 kids with maybe two
Wow.
teachers in each layer, but it's still, I mean, the whoever came up with the idea, it's brilliant.
No, yes. So you touched on that and the cultural differences briefly, but what cultural differences affect the way learning is in Bangladesh and later, of course, in El Salvador?
So when you say cultural differences, do you mean compared to the United States or?
You can take it any way you'd like. You can do cultural differences within your country because I'm sure there are many, or you
Mm,
can look at at Bangladesh versus the United States? There are many cultures in the United States.
Right, of course. So when I think about the cultural differences in my country, so we do have not definitely not 12 national languages like South Africa, but we do have different languages, especially in the hilly areas. So the only issue or difference that I would say that I think still needs to be addressed in my country is that there aren't any textbooks on those languages from indigenous people who are living in the hilly areas. There are different communities living in the hillsides, but there aren't any books in their mother language. So that is definitely something worth exploring. So they have to learn Bengali, which is an official language. They have to learn Bengali to be able to get official degree, like the basic degrees that you need to get the jobs and stuff. So that is one of the many things. I mean, I know that compared to India, which is our neighboring country, I know that they have books in different languages based on all the languages that they have in India. They have Bengali primary school books, Hindi books, and maybe other as well. But in Bangladesh, all the books are either in Bengali or English because you have to learn English, and Bengali is the official language. So this is definitely one of the issues that I would say is a cultural difference. Yeah.
Big one. And Emma, that cultural differences either within El Salvador or El Salvador, United States?
Well, in El Salvador, I think we don't have, like Chenile was mentioning, that difference of language because we just speak Spanish or, yeah, a person of Spanish. And we had another language, but it's a language that is almost disappeared. That is Nahuatl. It was like our original language, but it's almost gone. So we are not facing these challenging topics about like language, but is this a difference? I think I don't know if culture, but maybe generational challenging that is we are used to learn like for example to read in first grade and you have to do lessons and you have to do like different the learn the M, the P, the A, the abecedary and everything. And now from 1 year ago everything starts changing because the trending in education starts changing and they are more like into kids like learning playing, like they have a couple of games and everything and education is moving that way. So for some mothers, especially mothers that are not high educated and mothers in rural areas, they don't understand why their kids are playing in the classroom instead of reading. So that's kind of challenging, like explain them like the new trend and what is more healthy for kids and how they actually learn by playing. But they just says, yeah, but when I was in school it wasn't like that. I was reading, I was not like playing, like wasting my time. So I think that's something that we are facing right now, but I think like with the time we are going to learn that's the new way to teach.
I agree. It's much more fun if you can make it fun in a classroom.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you both. Emma and Shanila, it was insightful and just a lot of fun to hear you both and understand a little bit more about the cultures. And Barb will now finish our questions with non demiso and new.
Thank you.
I knew nom de miso. Thank you for joining me here. So we have a couple questions for you. First one is, what is on your wish list of things to experience while you are in the US? Do you have some ideas of things that you would like to see or do while you're in the US?
Yeah, we're smiling like who to go first. You can go first. I have been thinking about these questions a lot because there are a lot to do why, me focusing, working and studying here. But there's one destination that I would love to visit, which is Alaska. Because I know I'm from, tropical country and I like the warm, but Alaska has been like the destination because I don't know, it's because maybe it's different, totally different from where I'm coming from. I want to experience again the snow, and see the northern light. So yeah, that has been my list.
Well, on my side, Bob, I'm currently in New York State, quite close to the Canadian border. So, you're definitely invited to try out Syracuse before Alaska, perhaps, to see how heavy the snow is on our side. But for me, as someone who is currently in New York State, I think it's only fair that I mention that I'm looking forward to going to New York City one of these days, seeing the Empire State, being in Town Square, Manhattan, and so forth. So I think my wish list is looking highly probable at the moment as soon as I'm done with my coursework.
Well, New York is a great place to visit. And new, I was visiting Alaska a couple years ago, and it was just so different. I really enjoyed it. So, as far as experience go, what about within your university? Are there clubs or organizations that you would like to try out and maybe hear speakers or seminars that are right there in that you would experience in your own university?
Well, in our university, we have quite a lot of clubs that one can choose from, but we also have clubs that we automatically have membership to. So, for example, being a graduate student, we'll be a part of the Graduates Association. Being an international student, we'll be a part of the International Services. And then ones that are de department or school specific, so the School of Education and our program activities. So they've really kept us busy where we've tried different cuisines from all over the world, lots of activities. One of the organizations, which is the International Services organization, was actually the reason why I was able to see Niagara Falls. So they will have buses that go out to different places in the States. So I haven't had the time to think of joining any other organization other than those because they've kept it quite busy and they have always exciting activities for us to take part in.
Great. I would love to see Niagara Falls. I have not seen that. I haven't spent much time in upstate New York.
It's beautiful. It's quite a nature of wonder.
Um, for me, I would love to join a club here, but unfortunately, my schedule don't allow. But there's one which I don't think is really a club, but like an association. It's called UW Circle that support international students. And last quarter, I've been joining the events every week, get to know people, even though, I'm from Thailand and I may experience some different cultures, but here again, I want to also learn because who know, we can meet a friend from a country that we cannot even know how to pronounce. Yeah, that's why. I learn more of the cultures here, which is amazing because in America you get to expose multi like national like culture like then compared in any anywhere else in the world. But I want to also emphasize a club that I want is to happen that maybe I haven't really have information yet. I know that in my university, there's a lot of club that focus on technology, STEM and stuff, but not on education. And maybe if I have time in next quarter, I would love to explore more if there is any of club that support, educational initiative. And maybe I can invite some of the lady from Alpha Delta Kappa to be speakers.
Would be a great idea. And I know how important it is for each person to meet a variety of people, and you are lucky to be able to interact with people from different cultures. So, our next question is What could Alpha Delta Kappa do to make your experience as an ITE students more memorable or more beneficial? And you sort of touched on it, inviting some Alpha Delta Kappa members to speak. So do you have other ideas, New? Continue on that theme.
Yeah, I would love to see you in person as speakers here at UW, but also I want your insight and your knowledge, your experience to be accessible so we can actually do this some more like a webinar, or like a short sessions online where you can share, your experiences as an educator, because I also would love to learn more from you as well. Yeah.
Just to build off just what New just spoke about, this Thursday actually Phyllis invited us to come to the Sunshine Sessions where Tina Young was actually presenting all about AI, which was a very informative conversation and presentation, particularly to see how AI is being applied and used in the classroom. So I think there's definitely wonderful opportunities to learn from the wealth of knowledge that the Alpha Delta Kappa sisters already have from so many years of teaching experience as well as education. And to be quite honest, Bob, this is a very difficult question to answer because I think that they've gone above and beyond. As it stands, I am a Fulbright scholar with other Fulbright scholars in the classroom, and I obviously have had a reflection period as the semester began and noticed the vast differences that I've had since I arrived in the United States from simply just having someone who's excited to meet you from the airport all the way to the constant encouragement that comes in the form of cards, calls, messages, emails, texts, and gifts. And already that as an international student is not an experience that any other student is having here. At Syracuse University. And that just speaks to the testament of how impactful this organization is. So it's a very difficult question to answer because I think you've gone above and beyond. I feel so warm in such a very, very cold city.
You are in a cold city. Well, one thing I wanted to mention was that you're both going to regional conferences this summer. Nomadiso, you're going to Nashville, and New, you're going to Las Vegas, I believe. And so there will be a lot of learning sessions that will be presented. It could be the history of the local area. It could be technology and education, similar to what we heard on the Zoom about AI. It could be a yoga class. There are the learning sessions at the conferences cover a wide variety. Can you think of what you might like to learn at the conferences?
Yes. For me, apart from AI, which, you already had one session, because my research, I would like to focus on the underserved communities, especially, with the immigrant children, which is the community that I'm working with right now. So I would love to learn more of, as an educator, how you design your classroom environment, your curriculums, or you have any tools that can support you while trying to make your classroom like more like cultural, sensitive, and also like make it participatory as much as possible, given that the children come from different cultures. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
I think based on just the conversation that I'd had with my sponsors, Amy and Laura, one of my sponsors actually focuses on special needs education. I think that for me is quite an interesting topic because in South Africa, special needs education is also very much a part of our policies and a huge component of the Ministry of Education. So I think for me, quite an interesting topic would be sort of the intersection of special needs education as well as this rise in mental health and wellness and how that is being applied within the classrooms or workshops and so forth for teacher training itself.
Thank you, Nu and Nomadi. So you've given us some really good ideas, and I'll look forward to meeting you in person at the conferences.
Looking
And
forward to seeing you too, Bob.
thank you. And we hope all of you Alpha Delta Kappa members who have evolved in your understanding of the ITE program and the wonderful scholars, and perhaps even a better understanding of the educational system today. On behalf of the ITE board, our international leaders, and the scholars, we appreciate you being with us today as we celebrate ITE scholars evolving together. We are proud of our scholars. They are the embodiment of the dreams of our founders: educational excellence, altruism, and world understanding. We thank each of you who help support this program through your chapter's contribution to the Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation, which supports this program and many other scholarships. Although we will be muted as we end today's webinar, we will play the lamp of Alpha Delta Kappa. So please sing along wherever you are in the world. And thank you for joining us.
To